Hey guys, Colby with Muffler Tech, and today we're going to be putting a Pride V2 right there on my personal NSX. I'm going to give you some of my impressions about it, the before and afters, and just talk about what it's like to go from a stock exhaust on an NA1 Acura NSX to the Pride V2 all titanium muffled exhaust system. So here's the Pride, very high quality built, all titanium. They do make it in stainless. It's about $1,000 more, give or take, to go with the titanium setup. And I chose titanium because I like the higher pitch that the metal, the alloy creates in the exhaust tone. So you take a look here how nicely it's done. Very impressive, very clean welds. Very nicely constructed and super light, which I'll demonstrate here in a minute. But if we come back and look at, this was one of the few things that I haven't made any modifications to, at least that I care about, on my personal NSX here. You can see we still have the stock muffler under there. And we're going to be taking that heavy unit out, that heavy quiet, arguably fairly restrictive, out of this car, and going to the Pride V2 titanium. Okay, here we go. Taking the stock muffler off. All right, here's the stock exhaust out of the car. You can see it side by side with the Pride system. Kind of see the difference in the way they're set up. And you should have seen how it took two of us to get this thing down safely out of the car. This one lifts up with one hand, which I'll demonstrate right now. So this one, I can pick it up by myself, and obviously I can't show you how heavy it is on video, but I would guess, I don't know, 45 to 60 pounds, somewhere in there. It's a little bit awkward. Look at this one. Super easy to move around, way less weight, probably 12 to 15 pounds. All right, here it is installed. Looks pretty cool actually through this aftermarket balance I have on the car. You can see quite a bit of it. And I personally like the tips a lot better than the stock ovals. You can see it from underneath here. Let me zoom out. All right, so you guys just got an example of cold start. It's about 50 degrees this morning in sunny California, and that gives you an example of what the NSX with this Pride titanium exhaust sounds like when you first start it in the morning. Now, when we first fired it in the shop, the engine was warm, relatively warm, because I had driven it to the shop to do the swap. And anyway, so the clip right before that was a warm engine, cold exhaust, of course, but it gives you an example of cold start. Now, as I'm driving through the neighborhood, you can tell I'm in first gear now, about 3,000 RPM. The car is really not that loud. It has more tone to it than it did when it was stock, but it isn't offensive, and it's not going to be something that, at least I don't think that my neighbors are going to be throwing rocks through my windows because of the volume of the car. Now, Pride does make a different version of this exhaust called the RFL. That's an acronym. I'll go ahead and let you figure out what that means, but it has no mufflers. It's just pipe work, and as you can imagine, it's quite a bit louder. Okay, I'm leaving my neighborhood now, getting out on one of the main streets. I'm going to go ahead and stretch your legs a little bit and give you an idea what it sounds like under throttle here. isn't that much louder than stock inside, but what it does do, it gives you a soundtrack of the engine. We have an 8,000 RPM capable V6 behind us, and it is really nice to have more experience, more audible experience from that versus the stock exhaust. I'm going to go ahead and shorten this up. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me talk while I'm driving the car the whole time. We're going to go ahead and get out on some of these country roads around here and let you listen to this thing at full bore on the outside of the car. Okay, so you guys now have some footage of kind of screaming it through the gears out in the country. I'm going to show you a little bit what it's like to have it on the freeway now. So getting on the on-ramp now. I think this is not nearly as exciting, of course, but a lot of videos don't include what it's like to live with these cars. I use mine a lot on the freeway. This is my daily driver, and so something that I want to make sure you guys have an understanding of what it's like to experience the exhaust in this part of use. All right, so start my merge now in second gear. There's third gear. Representation for you guys of what it's like to have this exhaust on an NSX. Well, there you go, guys. There's my kind of review of the Pride Titanium V2 exhaust system for the NA1 NSX. Just briefly, I want to cover why I chose titanium. I think I've talked about it a little bit earlier in the video, but I have had a lot of experience with titanium exhaust systems on other exotic cars and things that we do, and I really, really like the pitch change that you get with the more exotic titanium. Plus, you gain kind of the aesthetic nature on a car that, like on this car, where it has that Cybon rear valance that kind of shows off the exhaust in the back there. You gain the aesthetics of what happens to titanium when it gets hot, kind of turns that goldish and purple color. I personally think it's really cool looking, so you gain that as well. But a lot of people can't justify the give or take $2,000 extra, and I would assume the stainless system from Pride is very similar, albeit maybe just a little bit lower pitch. So if anybody's interested in an exhaust system like this, we are Muffler Tech. We're located here in Sacramento, California. We'd love to help you. We can get the exhaust system for you, help you get it installed. I really appreciate you guys watching. I'm looking to kind of do a little bit more performance exhaust video stuff in the future. So if you like it, please give me a subscribe. That'd be great. Any comments, I'll do my best to respond and help you out. Thanks again for watching, guys. Have a great day.